Hey you guys, I'm super close to you guys today because the lighting is a little weird. I feel like this is the best lighting in my car right now. But Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. It's Christmas season, it's New Year's season. I got myself a little Christmas present. I'll show you guys. It is this new lunchbox. I have a new motherfucking lunchbox. You guys are just gonna chill on my knees, I think. I kind of like this vibe. But I got this new lunchbox to hold all of my goods, all of my regulated goods. You guys already know. Well, you probably don't, but it's my Melody. She's gorgeous. And wait till you see what the hell is inside here. Look, I have, oh, it's just falling apart. 1 second. It's just falling apart. But actually, it came with these, well, it didn't come with, but I put in these two little, you know what. I'm gonna take one out for this video. I have gotten this. I have these cones because I went to a smoke shop and they didn't have Lazy Susans, the rolling papers. So I had to make do with what I could get at that time. But I also have my rolling papers, you know, my regulated goods and whatnot. I also have a cherry wrap in here that I honestly need to use. It also came with this little broom. This is what I wanted to show. I have my Dark Crush Grabba. But it came with this little broom that like will broom up all of the little stuff on there. Do you know what I mean? Isn't that so cute? You guys. Love, love, love. Wanted to start that off with a little jolly love of my purchases because I really did that. I did that for myself. Now, what I also did for myself earlier is I gave myself 2 little doinkies for the day. I have smoked one already, but this is my second. And today, I know what we're talking about. It's kind of weird to sit here and know what I'm talking about, but it's something that I've just been struggling with. Probably like 2/3 of my life, I've struggled with anxiety. Like anxiety in a lot of different senses. I feel like I could talk about this for a really long time, and it's something that is very true to me, and a lot of people relate because everyone for the most part has their demons, and I feel like anxiety is something that we all share very heavily. I don't know if it's because COVID, I don't know if it's because what, but these last like 5 years, since 2019 for me, honestly, I've had tremendous issues with my anxiety and the thoughts that I have to control. It's just not easy. But anxiety is a bitch and so am I. So it's really battle of the bitches. Like, who's gonna win? Are you gonna let anxiety win or are you gonna win? You kind of have to just think of it as like your biggest arch nemesis. That's my biggest enemy is anxiety. It's just something that you can't really control it in the moment if you don't know what you have to do to calm yourself down or why you're feeling the way you're feeling. There's a lot of times where I've been in the movie theater lately because I've been seeing Wicked. I saw Wicked like twice in the theaters. I saw Moana 2. I saw Y2K. And each time I've gone to the theater, I've had some sort of like impending doom and sense of anxiety that I need to know where the exit at is in the theater. I need to know because obviously living in America, we all know gun violence is like a really big thing. It's just every time I think about it, you could be anywhere and a motherfucker could have a gun and decide that that's the day that they're gonna, you know, become a statistic and like, or make statistics happen. And it's just really scary. It's something that I would really have a lot of anxiety about going to school back in like 2018, I think, when the whole Stoneman Douglas thing happened. Rest in peace. It was also something that I thought about going to school, like, will someone bring a gun? And that's just things that you have to think about as a conscious person on earth. Like, you can't even act like that's a paranoid thought to have or something that isn't guaranteed, like you're gonna be okay. You know what I mean? It's just, there's a lot of possibilities in life, and I think as you get older and realize that, depending on what age you realize it at and who you have around you, the support system you have, it's just, it can cause the fruition of anxiety. It's just that. And I'm no psychologist, I'm no therapist, but I'm also not going to go have someone tell me these things when I've come to these conclusions on my own. And I feel like these are the ways that my brain wires itself, and it's harder to rewire your brain versus someone verbalizing what to do versus living your experiences and wiring it yourself and just remembering the codes for like what makes you feel better, what makes you happy. This right here, this herb, this fucking herb, if I didn't have this herb that I'm smoking right now, my anxiety would probably debilitate me. It's something that it even now, like, this is just a like therapy session for me, honestly. But even now, doing day-to-day tasks, like going to the store to get my essentials, going to do anything like in public, scares the fuck out of me for some reason. Like, genuinely makes me feel like, I don't know, like even going out to the club, I was talking to my friend the other day. We went out to the club and we were just like, yeah, we could have smoked like 5 joints and watched the rest of Wicked and that would have been fine. But we wanted to go out, try to have fun. It's just the environments are never fun enough to make me think like, if a meteor were to strike right now, would I want to be here? Would I want to be surrounded by these people? No, I'd want to be at home. And that's how I feel about going to the grocery store, like doing mundane daily activities. It's like, oh, what if a meteor comes and I'm not home, or I'm not 5 minutes from home and my loved ones aren't around me. And I don't know why that is. And I don't know if there literally is a meteor coming to Earth. It's just like, you can only do so much. You can literally only do so much about how you feel and like what you think. But yeah, it would really debilitate me. And that's why certain vices like smoking weed, obviously vaping, like it's an oral fixation. Like anything is. How many times have I said like in this video? I'm irritated at myself. But I've been doing good about that lately. But yeah, anxiety just, it's, how do you even describe anxiety to people? Because you can say it's things that make you anxious, it's things that make you feel scared, make you fearful, but in like actuality, anxiety is just one big bitch of a demon. Like, it's a bitch. It's just like a person. Anxiety feels like a person who lives inside your head and doesn't want out. Like, it doesn't want out. It wants to lock you in with them. It wants you to like keep you in your brain and like not leave it. So that's why smoking weed really helps me like go out and do things, makes me like want to go get food from somewhere that I see on like my Instagram that's probably 30 minutes from me. I'm like, okay, yeah, like I really want this meal. So I'll go out of my way and like go there and, you know, come right back home. But honestly, I feel like that bitch from Shameless. Do you guys know that bitch? The one that was like, well, she was in another movie. She was a mom in something else. Ice Princess. I think she's the mom in Ice Princess. I don't know, that bitch, Sheila, I think her name is Sheila. I don't know why Sheila just came into me. I think Sheila from Shameless is me and like deep down in the core. And that's, she doesn't leave the house. Like, she's just a freak who doesn't leave the house. And that's how I, like, I see no problem. And if I could stay home and get government assistance because of my own, like, brain problems, that would, in theory, be great. But then the world is so beautiful. I come outside and after, when I smoke a joint, I'm like, damn, like the world is beautiful. I like to just notice the life and beauty and everything around me. But if I don't have certain substances in my body, which is why I feel like getting medicated for anxiety and stuff, someone just pulled up next to me, but I'm filming a YouTube video. But that's why I feel like getting medicated for anxiety and stuff should help. But at the same time, I don't want to become dependent on a pill. That's the scariest thing to me, is having to be dependent on a pill that's not entirely for my health. It's not something that I need to like keep my body going. It's something to allow my mind to let my body grow and like experience life. But I honestly, I might have to go see someone and get medicated soon, because weed in itself, I love it. It's something that heals me. But I do notice when I reek of weed and I'm out in the public, it's just, I live in Florida. It's not legalized yet. It's not normal. It's not daily. It's not recreational. It's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, why do you smell like weed? You know that one scene in BoJack Horseman? It's Wednesday. It's 12 o'clock on Wednesday and you reek of weed. Like, that's how people look at you around here, and it's just uncomfortable because they don't know everything I'm going through in my body. And when you see me at face value, it's like, this is probably just a bitch who's been handed everything her whole life. And that's really in some cases true and in some cases not. It's like, I've worked really hard since I was 15 years old to try my hardest to like sustain myself in my life. And I've been doing good. Like I'm 22. I think I'm finally figuring out what the fuck I want to do with my life. And I was watching Twilight the other day, and she was having that bitch from Pitch Perfect, Anna Kendrick. She was having her little graduation speech, and she was just like, I used to always get asked, it's the whole thing, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? An astronaut. What do you want to be when you grow up? A teacher. It's constantly changing when you're younger, and then you get older and it turns into, I don't know. Like, I don't fucking know what I want to be, because yeah, I could be an astronaut, but then I have to go through 15 years of schooling, and then I'll be in outer space away from Earth. And then it's like, yeah, I could be a teacher, but then I'm a teacher for the rest of my life. And I only see kids in a certain perspective, because you can say like teaching brings you closer to the youth. And yes, you do see the youth grow and like how development changes and stuff. But you're always going to be a teacher to those kids. You're always going to be, there's the rare few that you have a connection with, but you're always going to see a certain side of them. The same way their parents are always going to see a certain side of them. It's just, it's deciding what you want to put into society, and it's really hard to decide what's going to fuel me and also allow me to be mentally stable, because there's a lot of things I have interest in, like criminology. I really like criminology, but I'm squeezy as fuck with blood. Like, I cannot do that. I don't know how anxiety turned into this conversation. It's just, things like this make me anxious. Like, not, I was so anxious this last year. I think the biggest thing was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, what am I actually doing? I've been living in the same town for 22 years now, and where the fuck am I gonna go from here? Not that there's anything wrong with living in your hometown. It's just, I personally don't think this is where I'm meant to be, but my family keeps me here. Like, I'm literally here for my mom. Like, that's the only reason I have to stay here is my mom. And she needs me. Like, she actually needs me. Like, my mom has gone through a lot. We've both gone through a lot. This past week has been fucking hell for me. And there's not a lot of people that give care in my family. And I'm one of the only, if not the only person my mom has that, like, will care for her every day. And she needs that because she's very forgetful. So, like, these things keep me grounded to my roots. But I just know that there will become a day where I'm not here anymore and I'm somewhere else, like, living my life and fully, you know, working towards my career and stuff like that. It's just right now I have to stay here in order to grow, and like, I have to build the foundation for my life. This year I've decided, well, I'm literally have come to this realization this last month. It's like, I like to reflect and think about the next year and what I want it to be. And I'm going back to get my bachelor's. Like, I'm going back to school. That's something that I've always done and like wanted to do. I just realized that the guy that parked next to me is smoking and probably hears me, but whatever. But yeah, I've always wanted to like go to school. I've always liked school. I've always been really studious. I just haven't gone back to school since last year when I got my AA. I'm going back beginning of next year. I'm gonna like solidify my degree by the end of next year, and I'll be able to do many things with what I'm getting. I don't want to speak too much on it because I do believe in evil eye, but yeah, I'm finally deciding what the fuck I want to do with my life, and YouTube is definitely going to be something I do as a hobby throughout all of next year. I just kind of want to do it to see where it goes, especially since TikTok might be getting banned. But yeah, I think I'm gonna turn on my car just because I am kind of paranoid. Like I said, this whole 13 minutes I have anxiety. One thing that also gives me anxiety is the belief that everyone can hear me at all times, because I have the type of ears where I pick up on shit so fast. Like, I can hear something and it will be like 50 yards away from me. I'm not even kidding. I'll hear a laugh. Oh my god, it might have paused because I have 10% battery, but I'll hear a laugh and I'll deadass be like, oh, that laugh is right there. I look around, there's no one. Then like 2-3 minutes go by and then the person passes my car. I'm like, oh, I heard that from so far away. Like, people just have good ears. If you have ears, you can hear shit. But yeah, that's something that causes me anxiety, and I'm always whispering, I'm always mumbling, because I just want the person I'm talking to hear what I'm saying, not necessarily everyone else. But a lot of people aren't like that. I don't know why. It's very interesting to me. That's something that gives me so much anxiety, though. I always think someone is listening to me or hearing me. And also, sometimes they are. Like, sometimes people really are. And that just means I'm more aware. But, yeah. I also feel like I'm gonna get kidnapped in certain scenarios. When I'm wearing certain outfits and I walk outside my house, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of asking for death, I think. But I don't know if that's due to me, like, watching too much shit when I was younger, but yeah. Anxiety's a bitch, but so am I, and I'm gonna be the bigger bitch. I'm gonna win this battle every time it becomes a battle, and when she wants to be my friend, she can be my friend. But if she wanna fight me, we can fight, and I'm gonna win. That's how I feel about anxiety. And I hope anyone who is watching this that just wanted to hear someone talk about anxiety, because it's essentially all I did, gain some sort of comfort in knowing that you're not alone. Just know so many people have anxiety. It's insane. How much of us share this feeling. And yeah, you're the bigger bitch. You can beat her. And that's it for today's video. I've been trying to keep these podcasts pretty short because I know people have bad attention span, and I'll make them longer once people are like, oh, I wish these were longer. But so far, nobody wants them longer. And I think I'm done talking. Okay, happy holidays. Thank you so much for watching. And Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.